First, the highlights. Legacy government to begin enforcement on the e-collop system along the Lekki Egbe corridor. Federal government to partner state developers on affordable housing projects. On the foreign team, United States announces new levies on dozens of countries, raises Canada tariff to 35%. And in sports, Nigeria's D Tigress sets up semi-final clash with Senegal after defeating Cameroon in Afrobasket Championship. And now the details. I am Mike James. Following several months of strategic planning, stakeholder engagement and public sensitization, the Legacy government is set to commence enforcement of the e-collop system along the Lekki Egbe corridor. In preparation for this rollout, the Ministry of Transportation has actively engaged key stakeholders and implemented critical recommendations. The park usage fee has been reduced from 12,500 naira to 10,000 naira, and even designated drop parks have been fully equipped and are ready for operation. To ensure a seamless transition, the ministry, in collaboration with e-collop Technologies, has launched a familiarization exercise across the approved parks. The initiative aims to streamline truck movement, ease traffic congestion, eliminate illegal parking, and enhance compliance among operators. It is expected to significantly improve tariff flow, safeguard road infrastructure, enhance public safety, and stimulate economic activity along the corridor. The Legacy government, through the Lagos State AIDS Control Agency, LSACA, has announced its readiness to chart a new course for HIV response in Nigeria as it prepares to host the 7th National Council on AIDS amid dwindling partner support. Chief Executive Officer of LSACA, Folakemi Animashaw, in a statement said the 7th National Council on AIDS, NCA, is scheduled to take place from August 5 to 7. Animashaw explained that the National Council on AIDS, a pivotal event convened in collaboration with the National Agency for the Control of AIDS, NACA, will bring together key stakeholders in Nigeria's HIV response to deliberate on innovative strategies, review national progress, and set the agenda for a more resilient and integrated HIV response. She said the event, themed Advancing National HIV Sustainability Agenda in the Changing Global Policy on AIDS, is timely and strategic, emphasizing the need for stakeholders to proactively respond to evolving global health priorities while maintaining the momentum of national HIV response. Animashaw outlined several key initiatives planned for the gathering, which will convene stakeholders from across the 36 states of the Federation and the FCT to exchange best practices, present research findings, and align efforts towards effective management and control of HIV and AIDS in the country. She affirmed that Lagos is not only prepared to host a council, but is committed to leveraging a platform to chart a new course in the management and control of HIV and AIDS, particularly in an era marked by competing health priorities and dwindling donor resources. Lagos State chapter of the All Progressives Congress, APC, says the state remains a model of inclusive governance and multi-ethnic cooperation. This is just as it cited the leadership of President Bola Tinubu and Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu as examples of political tolerance and development-focused governance. Lagos APC made this known while reacting to comments made by former presidential advisor Babafemi Ojodu, who in a recent article warned that Lagos is playing with fire and President Tinubu must put it out. Reaffirming its commitment to dialogue, the Lagos APC said it welcomes constructive criticism but will not tolerate rhetoric that undermines the state's peace or casts aspersions on its leadership. The federal government has commenced reconstruction of the collapsed Kefi flyover in Nasarawa State while accelerating major roadworks across the country. Minister of Works David Umahi stated this after Thursday's Federal Executive Council meeting chaired by President Bola Tinubu. Umahi described the July 4 collapse as very unfortunate and confirmed the settlement with the families of the 3 persons who lost their lives. He said one carriageway has been closed for urgent repairs following structural assessments to prevent further hazards. The Kefi flyover is a critical link between Abuja, Nasarawa, and other parts of Nigeria's north-central region. The Comptroller General of the Nigeria Immigration Service, Kemi Nandap, has explained that its adoption of tech innovation is enhancing security at Nigerian borders. Speaking in Kaduna at an interactive session on government citizen engagement themed Assessing Electoral Promises, Fostering Government Citizen Engagement for National Unity, Nandap said the newly deployed border management system of the service is enhancing target-based profiling through the interactive advanced passenger information and passenger name record technology at an unprecedented level of efficiency. This facility, according to her, helps the service to know and properly profile individuals traveling to Nigeria before they leave wherever they were coming from for national security. Nandap also said the interest of communities at the nation's borders would be prioritized in the ongoing immigration service recruitment process. She said this is aimed at strengthening the relationship between the service and the border communities and enhancing collaboration, intelligence gathering, and security at the borders. And now to the rest of the stories. Minister of Housing and Urban Development, Hamid Dangiwa, has unveiled the federal government's plan for a state-by-state home ownership and housing development campaign, a collaborative initiative with state governments, private developers, and development partners aimed at bridging policy execution gaps at subnational levels. Dangiwa revealed the plan as he officially declared open the 19th edition of the Africa International Housing Show in Abuja. He reaffirmed the commitment of the federal government under the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Tinubu to bridge Nigeria's housing gap through bold, inclusive, and innovative reforms. Dangiwa stressed that affordability remains the biggest barrier to home ownership on the continent, despite growing housing supply efforts. He highlighted the federal government's three-tier Renewed Hope housing program, comprising Renewed Hope Cities, Renewed Hope Estate, and Renewed Hope Social Housing Estate as a blueprint for delivering affordable homes nationwide. Dangiwa reiterated the commitment of the ministry to urban renewal and slum upgrades, aligning with the UN Habitat Global Action Plan and the Addis Declaration on Inclusive Urban Development to ensure that no one and no place is left behind. The Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, Bianca Odumegu Ojukwu, has appealed for calm following calls by some Ghanaians for the deportation of Nigerians from the country. Odumegu Ojukwu made the appeal during a joint press conference with Ghana's Foreign Affairs Minister Samuel Ablakwa in Accra, Ghana. She said vital videos depicting protest had raised concerns in Nigeria, prompting President Bola Tinubu to dispatch her as a special envoy to assess the situation firsthand, stating that her delegation had met with Ghanaian officials, community leaders, and individuals involved in the situation to ease tensions. Ojukwu reiterated the long-standing relationship between Nigeria and Ghana, cautioning against the spread of inciting content that could escalate tensions between citizens of both countries. She also called for the institutionalization of the Nigeria-Ghana Joint Commission to promote stronger bilateral relations and citizen-to-citizen engagement. In his remarks, Ghana's Foreign Affairs Minister Ablakwa said the government is engaging both Ghanaian citizens and the Nigerian community to address concerns and maintain peace. And now to foreign news. The United States has announced fresh tariffs on more than 90 countries as President Donald Trump's deadline to strike trade deals passes. Tariffs on Canada increased from 25 to 35%, but most Canadian goods are exempt under a previous agreement. Higher tariffs for Mexico are paused for another 90 days, but Brazil faces a 50% levy. Trump first announced his tariff plan in April, sending chaos rippling through the world economy, but later postponed it so countries, including the UK, could negotiate deals. The tariff means companies that bring foreign goods into the US will have to pay the taxes to the government, and experts say these companies may pass cost on to customers. In sports, African champions Nigeria's D Tigress advanced into the semi-finals of the 2025 FIBA Women's Afrobasket with a crushing 83-47 victory over Cameroon on Thursday night in Abidjan. The six-time and defending champions will now meet Senegal in the next stage of the competition. The win means that Nigeria and the three other African teams that reached the semi-finals have secured their spots in the 2026 FIBA Women's Basketball World Cup qualifying tournament in March. Mali, Nigeria, Senegal, and South Sudan join a group of 24 national teams that will compete in four FIBA Women's Basketball World Cup 2026 qualifying tournaments. That was our news at 10 just before we go. Remember, speed thrills but kills. Please always avoid excessive speed. You can follow us and like all our various social media platforms: X, Traffic Radio 961, Facebook, Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, Instagram, Lagos Traffic Radio 961. Subscribe and watch our news and programs. It's live on YouTube, Traffic Radio 961. Visit our website www.trafficradio961.ng. You can also listen to Lagos Traffic Radio live on my Lagos app for timely updates. Did you know that the Sanwo-Olu administration organized a forum for women across 57 local government and local council development areas in the state with a view to enhancing their productivity and economic growth? Well, you can always get more details on the Legacy Government website. And to end the news, here are the highlights of the major stories. Following several months of strategic planning, stakeholder engagement, and public sensitization, the Legacy Government is set to commence enforcement on the e-collab system along the Lekki-Ekpe corridor. Minister of Housing and Urban Development Hamid Dangiwa has unveiled the federal government's plans for a state-by-state home ownership and housing development campaign, a collaborative initiative with state governments, private developers, and government development partners aimed at bridging policy execution gaps at sub-national levels. We also told you that the United States has announced fresh tariffs on more than 90 countries as President Donald Trump's deadline to strike trade deals passes. In sports, African champions Nigeria's D Tigress advanced into the semi-finals of the 2025 FIBA Women's Afrobasket with a crushing 83-47 victory over Cameroon on Thursday night in Abidjan. For contact with the newsroom, send a message to info@trafficradio961.ng. That ends the news broadcast compiled by Abiola Fagbulago. Thank you for listening, Lagos. My name is Mike James. Good morning to you.
Don't you think it is better